Hi, I'm Jessica Rose, certified holistic nutritionist and licensed cosmetologist. And today I am joined with board certified holistic nutritionist Lauren Bryson, and we're going to share all of our top nutrition and wellness tips. Thank you so much, Lauren, for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited for this conversation.
I am really excited too. You're just such a wealth of knowledge, and I'm excited to just share some of our nutrition tips. So you're a board certified holistic nutritionist, and you are just so knowledgeable in the field of wellness and nutrition. And I would love to hear your story, how you got started, and a bit about what it is that you do and how you help people.
Absolutely. So I discovered the world of health and wellness, I think like a lot of other practitioners, is I had a major health crisis. I struggled with gut-related issues since I was in middle school, which just progressed to get worse and worse through high school and college. A lot of stomach pain, IBS issues, bloating, which led to nutrition deficiencies. My gut was so dysbiotic, which means it was so imbalanced. I wasn't absorbing any of the nutrients in my food. And I was really shuffled around the Western medical model with little to no answers. I was dismissed. I was misdiagnosed. I was overprescribed. I was told nothing was wrong with me. All of my symptoms continued to get worse and worse. And I finally received a diagnosis of autoimmune gastritis, which is a chronic inflammatory condition in your stomach. And the diagnosis at the time felt like the end of the world, but it was really the beginning of everything, because from there, I decided to take my health into my own hands and started to research gut health and foods to support your gut and ways to heal the gut. And I slowly started adding in these simple healthy habits by cooking my own food, working on stress management, eating nutrient-dense food. And I started to see very small, I want to emphasize small, steps in the right direction though. So I really have the firsthand experience of using food and lifestyle to heal the body. And I have a professional background as a project manager living and working in San Francisco, but I decided to quit my job and go back to school. And I got my nutrition consultant certification from Bowman College. So this is my second career. And I've been hustling ever since. I've been in the field for about 3 years professionally. I love it so much. I am board certified in holistic nutrition and a health coach, and I work one-on-one with clients at my company, Lauren Emerson Wellness. Emerson's my middle name, where I combine both health coaching with functional lab testing. So I run GI map and MRT food sensitivity tests on my clients to really get to the root of the issue to help heal them from the inside out. I also teach kids cooking classes with a nonprofit called Kids Cooking for Life. These are hands-on kids cooking classes. We're in the classroom. The junior chefs are chopping away. I also teach nutrition education to high schoolers in Sonoma County. And I also have a podcast called Go Play in the Dirt, which is all about the importance of biodiversity. Jessica was a guest on my podcast. We talked all about beauty foods. It was super fun. And my main focus is on gut health, but my mission is really to make healthy living fun again and accessible for everyone. That's kind of my end goal. And a way we can do that is with food and lifestyle.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your story. And you do such a good job at sharing, your wellness practice, but as far as helping people from a really practical standpoint. And I really like what you're doing as a nutritionist, is that if you want to elaborate it on the lab testing for the gut health, because I find gut health is at the core of a person's health, their immune health, but also their mental health. And something like the GI maps is a test that I took that really changed the course of my life as far as improving my health when I had health issues and helping me to have a healthier mood, because, your serotonin is produced in the gut, and you know that. But, I find with a lot of nutritionists, they have like healthy nutrition courses that are just very general blanket protocols of healthy gut reboots, but every single person has a different gut diversity, and they'll have different things like candida, or they'll have SIBO, or they'll have parasites, and you can't just have a blanket course that heals everyone, and a lot of the foods can actually make it worse. So what you're doing with the lab testing helps to identify your client's actual gut issue specifically, and then helps to create a plan of action to help them, and I think that is just key. So if you want to elaborate a little bit on the GI maps and the gut testing and how you actually help people with lab testing.
Yeah, absolutely. You touched on the concept of bio-individuality, which I think is so important. What works for one person is not going to work for the next person. And I think we've really lost that, both from the medical perspective, just the one size fits all approach to health and wellness, but also in the holistic nutrition realm as well. So with the GI map and the food sensitivity testing, I'm a big believer in test, don't guess, because as you were saying, everyone's different. And if you actually get lab tests done, because I got to run them on myself too, you really get to see what's actually happening in your microbiome balance, if you have an H. pylori infection, how your liver is functioning, if you have pathogens, parasites, any opportunistic bacteria, your pancreatic enzyme output, your immune system, like your immune system status. It is a snapshot at what's actually happening in your gut. And then from there, we can create a custom protocol that combines, obviously nutrition is a big piece, but also lifestyle and then also supplement support to help heal your body from the inside out. Because I mean, I focus on gut health. I know you also focus on gut health and beauty health as well. Gut health is key for every system in the body. So like gut health has a direct impact on digestion, immune function, weight management, mood, sleep, and overall health. And it really comes down to the health of the gut. It could be that simple, but it can also be that complicated. You know, the gut is a very complicated organ, and it's not an organ. The gut is a complicated system of organs, and the GI map testing, I think, is a game changer. I think that's cool that you got to run one on yourself as well. I learned so much about myself when I did that.
Yeah, definitely. It was years ago, and it's really what changed the course of, my health. I used to suffer from anxiety, and a lot of it was due to the candida that I had, and it was the foods that I was eating, 20 plus years of processed foods that led me to get to have leaky gut, which I wouldn't have found out about leaky gut and candida. And the GI maps was just the test. It is the gold standard in the field of nutrition. Functional doctors use it, naturopaths, nutritionists use it. And so I highly recommend it. And I think it's fantastic that you're doing that, because that's going a step above to really get to the root cause to help your clients, and not just slap a blanket protocol on there, but you're trying to get to the root cause to heal them so they don't keep coming back to you again and again and just needing to do another protocol. It's like, no, let's heal our clients holistically. Let's actually use the word heal them from their ailments. So that's amazing that you do that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a newer, I got my certification earlier this year, so it's been something that's been newer in my practice, but it's been an absolute game changer. Like, I'm so happy I have this. And it's an offering to people out there who are struggling with gut related issues, because I understand, and I've been there, and I know how absolutely frustrating it can be, especially with the Western medical model, which is really great for certain things. It's really not well equipped to deal with chronic illness, especially with gut-related chronic illness. I remember all of my doctors in my 20s, including my gastroenterologist, they never talked to me about food. Not once, which was kind of crazy.
No, and I know doctors are not educated at all. Like, their schooling does not actually entail having any type of nutrition education. I think they get 1 to 2 hours in their entire course of their schooling, which is just crazy, and they follow the food pyramid or my plate, opposed to taking a holistic approach to health and wellness and getting to the root cause with food and lifestyle. And, it's not just all about taking a pill, because that's just going to kind of slap a Band-Aid on it instead of getting to the root cause of really what is going on and looking at it at a deeper level. Mm-hmm. So I love that you do that. What are some of your favorite tips as far as how people that want to get into holistic nutrition, they want to improve their health? Is there anything that you can offer to people that are listening that is just an easy first step that they can take that's going to improve their health?
I have a free tip for everyone, so everyone can do this. All right? Chew your food. You want to chew your food when you're eating your food. We live in such a rush culture. I myself included. Sometimes I do not fully chew my food, but we live in such a rushed culture where you are either eating on the go, you're eating at your desk at work, you forget to eat, you only have 5 minutes to eat, and you wolf down your food. But chewing is step one in digestion. So when you chew your food, the saliva in your mouth releases digestive enzymes, specifically amylase, which helps digest carbohydrates. So it helps break down that food before it reaches your stomach. And then the stomach, obviously, with your stomach acid, will help break down the food more. So if you are eating your food without fully chewing, your food's not going to be fully broken down, and it's going to be a lot more difficult for your gut to fully A, break down, but also B, absorb all the nutrients that are in there. And it can lead, if you don't chew properly, it can lead to indigestion, heartburn, any other type of gut-related issues. So chewing your food is a really, really, really great first step, because it also ties into the piece of mindful eating. So sitting down to eat a meal. Also, I don't always have time to do that either. I want to keep it real. I don't sit and chew all my meals all the time. But if you can have time to sit down and maybe take a couple deep breaths before you eat your food, chew your food, and just try to be there in the moment, it's a really powerful practice because on a scientific level, it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest state, which is a state you want to be in when you're eating food. If you are on the go, rushing, stressed, 5 minutes to eat, you're going to be in your sympathetic nervous system state, which is your stress state. So you're not going to be fully digesting and absorbing your food. So my friends, chew your food today.
I love that. That's such a great tip and something that people can do immediately as their next meal. Just take that time, like Lauren said, chew your food. And, it's not easy to do at first because you actually have to think about it because most of us are just wolfing down our food. And so, yeah, and I would say from a beauty standpoint, it really does also help you to absorb the nutrients in your food, which is just going to go and feed your skin, hair, and nails because, go and buy this organic, beautiful food that you want to really help with your health and also to nourish your beauty. But if you're not absorbing the nutrients from your food, then they're kind of going to waste. So actually sitting there and chewing your food is also going to help with the absorption of those vitamins, nutrients, enzymes, and minerals for sure.
What's your favorite beauty food?
Ooh, I always say this. My favorite beauty food of all time is bone broth. I love bone broth. During my personal health journey with my gut health, it was something that my functional doctor had me drinking 3 times a day. And I make it at home. It's full of all the amino acids and it's full of minerals, glycine, things that are actually going to help with improving the gut lining and also just nourishing your skin, hair, nails from the inside out. It's very, very nutrient dense and it's simple to make. I love bone broth. I drink it almost every day. If I'm not just sipping on it, then I'll add it to a soup or I'll saute with it. But there's just so many ways that you can include bone broth into your diet. And I always suggest to make it yourself at home because it's cost effective and it's going to be a lot more nutrient dense because you're going to be using your filtered water. You're going to hopefully be using a non-toxic cookware or crock pot. And then you're also going to simmer it for a lot longer than a lot of the people that you buy at the store. So your bone broth, as Lauren knows, should be gelatinous. You want it to come out kind of jelly-like. A lot of the stuff on the stores is more like a stock. You're paying extra for them to slap a label for bone broth on it, but it's really more like a stock and not this really gelatinous bone broth.
You want the wiggle.
Yeah.
You want the wiggle, you guys. Look for the wiggle.
Yeah.
I love bone broth. I had some this morning. I'm a big fan. I think my favorite beauty food's avocado. I love avocado. It's a great source of monounsaturated fats, which are healthy fats. It's also high in vitamin E, which will help your skin glow. It also tastes amazing. I'm a big fan of avocado and it also has fiber. So avocado and bone broth, those are 2 great beauty foods.
Yeah, and quick beauty tip, if you have a avocado that's gone kind of brown and you don't really want to eat it, put it in your hair. It is so good for your hair. It's just really nourishing. So you can use these foods topically for your beauty routine as well. I always love putting avocado in my hair.
Ooh, I didn't know that. Do you just literally put it on? And just how long
Yeah,
did it sit for?
I just smash it in my hair, and sometimes I'll spray my hair a little bit so it's damp, and it helps with the penetration a little bit. But I'll leave it in if I'm just staying home. I'll leave it in through the entire day, and then I'll just wash it out at night. I like to wash my hair at nighttime, and yeah, it's very moisturizing. I love it. I'll put it on my face too. I put all the foods on my skin. I put them in my hair. As long as you know what you're doing and you use the correct foods in your beauty routine, you can get amazing results. Better than a lot of the stuff that's out there that's full of chemicals.
Ooh, I'm going to try that. I have an avocado. I'm looking at it right now. It's in my kitchen. I'm going to try that for sure. I can't wait.
Okay. Keep me posted. Let me know how you like it. Speaking of foods, I know you're really into seasonal eating, so am I. What are some of the foods that people can eat that are in season right now? We're in fall, so we're actually in October right now at the time we're recording this video. But also, what are the benefits of eating seasonally for people who are listening?
This is another simple tip that I love to educate on a way you can be a healthier person, is eating seasonally. We have become so detached to the seasons because in the supermarket, you can get watermelon in December, in the middle of winter. You can get any food that you want at any time of the year. And seasonal eating has numerous health benefits. It supports you on a physiological level. It will be more affordable. It will support your community. So number one is it's going to be more affordable. This is a no-brainer. So like when fruits and veggies are in season, there will be a larger supply, resulting in lower prices. So it will benefit your wallet. Number two is it will have more nutrients. So seasonal produce is more nutrient dense because since it is grown and picked in the right season, there will be a higher level of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and phytonutrients. Number three is my favorite. It's just going to taste better. So when you buy produce that's in season, like right now, we're kind of on the tail end of tomato season, and we made salsa in one of my kids' cooking classes yesterday, and the tomatoes were so juicy and delicious and just fresh and amazing. Compared to if you eat a tomato in February, it's going to be watery, waxy, not as tasty. So seasonal eating will also taste better. Seasonal eating also usually ties into shopping local. If you can go to a farmer's market, if you have a farmer's market available. If not, you can look into a community-supported agriculture box, which is deliveries from farms that are local to you. But it ties into the piece of shopping local, but also community and connection. Like when was the last time you talked to the person who grew your food? I love to ask people that. And then another benefit is it's going to reduce your carbon footprint. So it benefits the environment. Eating seasonally, once again, ties into shopping local. So if you're eating seasonally, the food will usually be grown more local. If you're eating out of season food, it's going to typically have to be shipped from out of country. So there's gas for the airplane, there's refrigeration costs, there's electricity costs. So seasonal eating will also benefit the environment. So there's tons of benefits in seasonal eating. And right now, as Jessica said, we are in October. I can't believe it's October. The year's just flown by. Right now, Brussels sprouts are starting to show up. I'm a huge Brussels fan. So Brussels are a cruciferous vegetable. They are really nutrient dense. They're high in fiber, and they can be really supportive to the liver. Also, pomegranate is in season right now, which is really anti-inflammatory, rich in antioxidants, supports heart health. I know it's a really good beauty food. And then apples are also in season right now. So apples are also high in fiber to support your digestion. And they are rich in this antioxidant called quercetin, which really supports your immune system. So those are my three ones that are coming to my head right now. Do you have any in-season produce that you're really vibing with right now?
Yes. So right before we started recording, I'm eating a pear. Pears are in season and they are just so juicy. The flavor is so good right now. And like Lauren said, they're going to be more nutrient dense. So sweet potato, I would say, besides the bone broth, is one of my favorite beauty foods. Sweet potato is my favorite vegetable. I just think it's the best tasting. I like the orange ones that are sweet, and I love to eat them in just so many different ways. I put them in tacos, I put them in soups, but my favorite ways is just to chop them up, and then I coat them in coconut oil, put them in the oven, and bake them with a little bit of salt, and I just pop it like popcorn. They're so good, and they're full in beta carotene, and it's really going to be great for your skin. It's going to nourish your skin in such a beautiful way. And, as far as eating seasonally, like Lauren said, the foods are more nutrient dense. So if you think about it from a standpoint of beauty, you are going to get more vitamins, more nutrients to deliver to your skin that's going to nourish your hair, skin, and nails, opposed to something that's been shipped from a faraway place that's sitting in the grocery store for weeks on end. Then it sits in your refrigerator for another week. And by the time that you eat it, there's a lot of nutrition that's lost. So getting foods that are grown locally and eating with the seasons is just going to be so much better for your health and beauty. And also, dependent on where it is that you live, the foods that are grown locally that are in season, our bodies change and shift with the season. So, during the fall season we're going into right now, our bodies actually require more nutrient-dense, carb-rich foods that are going to help with energy expenditure, which is just a lot better than eating a light salad or cucumbers, which are great lighter foods that are good for the summertime when we are just more energized and everything like that. But right now we're going into hibernation mode. Our bodies are kind of going inward, and it's time to eat more heavy carb-rich foods. So things like sweet potatoes. I love to eat oats. I make a lot of buckwheat. I made buckwheat pancakes last night actually for dinner, and I added some pumpkin to it, put the rest on my face, and it was just such a good beauty food dinner. But also I had this honey pumpkin mask on my face, and then I was eating the pumpkin pancake, so it's beauty on the inside, beauty on the outside. That's just my approach, is nourish your beauty from the inside is one of the best ways to look and feel your best, and then take care of yourself holistically with natural, non-toxic products and natural foods, like putting the avocado on your hair or face, putting the pumpkin on your face. And I am the honey queen. I'm all about honey. Everything I do with honey is just one of the best things to put on your skin.
I love that. Human beings are seasonal. Like, we talk about food being seasonal, but we as humans are also seasonal. And just like Jessica was saying, what we require shifts with the season. So as Jessica was saying, we're shifting to fall, and you're going to want to incorporate more cooked foods, more root vegetables, more soups and more stews. And I learned this. I had no idea until I got really sick. I learned this because I discovered Ayurveda on my healing journey, and it was really based in seasonal eating principles. And when I started eating more seasonally, I definitely felt, obviously my digestion was working a little bit better, but I really realized what I need both physically, but also mentally and emotionally, and like movement wise, work wise, all the things, it all shifts with the seasons. And I think that's a really, really great point. And then also, I love that you said, getting glowing skin and feeling like you have like the glowing skin and the beauty foods, it starts from within, and what you're eating is a big piece of it. How you're hydrating is a big piece of it. Stress management, sleep, it's that whole holistic approach. And then obviously using clean beauty as well. I'm going to start using raw honey. You're inspired, or is it Manuka honey that you said?
Yes, Manuka honey. It is the only face mask that I really use. I don't even have a face mask like a store-bought one. I literally will just take Manuka honey and mix it with either hibiscus powder. Yesterday I did the pumpkin puree. A lot of times I love the turmeric. I'll mix it with cacao, which is really high in antioxidants. Sometimes I'll do it with matcha. I check in with my skin and say, hey, what's my skin wanting right now? And I just mix up a little bit of honey and a little bit of herbal beauty powder, and boom, skin's glowing, and it's natural. It's 2 ingredients, and it's good for your health and good for your beauty. And it's more cost effective than buying these beauty products that have 30, 40 questionable ingredients that most people don't even know what they are. And it's just not good for your health or your beauty in the long term.
Absolutely. I always encourage people, obviously read the food label, but read your product label, you guys. And this goes obviously for skincare, for makeup, but also household products. laundry detergent, anything that has a label, read it. It will be very, very eye-opening. And if there's something on there you can't pronounce, which is typically the case, typically there's like at least 10 things on there that you can't pronounce, just think about it. Think about what actually that is, what's in there. And then also, if you're looking to start to swap, start small. It could be super overwhelming, just the amount of kind of toxins and non-real ingredients that are in our food, our beauty products, our household cleaner products, all the things, our clothes, everything. But just pick maybe one or two things you want to start working on, whether it be snacks or body wash or makeup, and then start to really kind of be a little bit more mindful about the ingredients, and then start to look into clean swaps.
I love that. That's such a good point. It's just starting small, not to get overwhelmed and say, oh no, I need to throw out everything I own and only use non-toxic products, because it's not realistic. And it also can be quite expensive and very overwhelming. Speaking from personal experience, I would say a great place to start that I always tell my client is start with your water. I find that water is one of the most important things to switch out first. If you're just looking at your health standpoint, I always say start with the things that you do every single day. And something as simple as getting a water filter, I prefer the ones that hook up to your sink, because then you're also rinsing your fruits and vegetables in filtered water instead of buying organic produce, but then rinsing it in tap water that's full of toxins. It defeats the purpose. So, you're also going to use that water to cook with. So having a water filtration system that hooks up to your sink is really great. I say they're about $100, and then you switch out the filter every year and it's about $50. And it's so much more cost effective and better for the environment. It is a lot better for your pocketbook to have a filtration system at home than buying all this bottled water, which leaches microplastics into the water. It harms your health. It harms the environment. It's not good for your beauty either. So I always say something as simple as water is one of my favorite places to start. And one more I'll mention is the cookware. That's an investment, but I do think it's really important, because what we do the most frequently is going to have the most significant influence on our life. So something as simple as cooking, we may think I'm buying all this organic food, I'm switching over to healthy living, I'm trying to eat more vegetables. But then you go and you cook it in cookware that's, say, nonstick cookware, for instance, is leaching all these different chemicals into your food. So you bought the healthy food, yet your cookware leached unhealthy chemicals in there, which defeated the purpose of eating that healthy food. So I always say to invest. It's an investment. Truly, to be honest, it is an investment to get non-toxic cookware. I suggest pure ceramic was one of my favorite. Buy just one piece that you can cook for everything. That it works. It's very like a versatile piece. And also cast iron is really great and very durable, or a high quality stainless steel. The word is high quality because otherwise it can leach nickel into your food. So I would say drinking water and your cookware are just two essentials for minimizing your toxic load for sure.
Those are great tips. Cookware is on my list. It's like I've been on this journey for a long time. And as we were saying, it's been just adding in the slow, healthier habits, but I still haven't gotten to cookware yet. But this is inspiring me to look into it because it's so important. As you said, I cook all the time. And if I'm using a pan that is leaching chemicals into my food, it's kind of counterproductive. So I like this tip. Look, I'm always learning. I feel like a forever learner. And this is why I love doing these conversations, because I feel like I always learn things from people in the field. It's so fun.
Exactly. A lifelong learner. None of us know everything. Mm-hmm. None of us are an expert on everything. It's not possible. I am always keeping a notepad with me while I'm watching TV. I am huge on watching YouTube videos, and I just choose, I'm pretty much always watching wellness topics. And yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just see my scribbles. I know. Even last night, I'm trying to just watch like a video on non-toxic beauty. Next thing you know, I'm making all these notes. I'm like, this is supposed to be my relaxing time. But you just get so inspired because you're like, wow, that's a great point. I need to write that down. We are all lifelong learners. We're never going to know everything, and just be open, receptive to new information. And, if it's something that you've never heard about, don't just immediately disregard it. Just really take it in, make a note of it, and then do your own research. I highly suggest everyone to always do their own research when they're presented with new information and then come to your own conclusions. You are your own health advocate. No one else can dictate what you should do with your life. So research and come to your own conclusions are my tips for sure.
I literally just had this conversation with my high school students in class on Monday because we were watching a YouTube video about fresh seasonal produce, and this person listed out like 5 fruits and veggies, and then he listed one vegetable that he said, no one should eat this. This is bad for this, and this reason. And I showed it to them. And the reason why I showed it to them is because I personally disagreed with what he was saying. But just the concept of critical thinking, I feel like we've lost. And as you said, no one is an expert. If someone says that they know everything, run. That is a red flag. But just there's so much information, specifically in the nutrition and wellness field, conflicting information. And you are your own advocate. You are the CEO of your own health, and you know what's best for you. But it's your, I don't want to say responsibility. You have the option to make your own decisions and do your own research and look at studies and see what's actually relevant, because there's so much information out there and it can be super overwhelming. But critical thinking is key, not just for like health and wellness, but this is just a life skill. We've gone outside of the holistic health realm and we're in the life skills now. But yeah, critical thinking and doing your own research is something I always love to tell my clients about too, because it's so important.
Yeah, we're definitely living in a state of cognitive dissonance right now. And some people would rather just turn a blind eye or, I won't use the word sheep, but just kind of just follow along with what's being told. Always question everything you see, you hear, research everything. The most simplest things, the most outrageous things. Just research everything. Become your own health advocate, because that is how you become empowered. You will feel so much healthier in your life when you are making choices based on having the knowledge, because you took the time to research it and then you implemented those tips into your lifestyle, and you're not listening to that person over there. You're listening to your own intuition is key.
I love that. Absolutely.
So speaking of that, what are some tips? I know you're really passionate about immune health, and what are some tips that people can implement, especially as we go into fall and winter? What are some tips that people can implement that are just very easy that they can do in their everyday lifestyles to support their immune health?
Yeah, I love talking about immune health, especially with the shifting of the season. So I also love to tell people it's estimated that 70% of your immune system is located in the gut. So once again, all the systems are connected to the gut. So really focusing on gut health as step 1 is going to be very, very supportive to your immune system. And there's tons of research out there that shows that certain nutrition and lifestyle practices can play a huge role in a healthy and optimal immune system. So a few just simple pieces to focus on to support your immune health is hydration. It's just, we're going to get back to the basics. Hydration. So filtered water, bone broth, mineral broth, fresh juice, homemade Gatorade. You can make your own kind of electrolyte drinks at home, which are super simple. But hydration is a really big piece for immune health. Once again, movement, moving your body promotes circulation and stimulates the lymphatic system, which will help with detoxification. Sleep, is also really detoxifying and restorative. And then 2 kind of specific immune supportive practices are dry brushing. I'm a big fan of dry brushing in the morning before a shower. You can get a dry brush for $8. And you go up your legs, up your arms, and then down towards your heart. And this also stimulates your lymphatic system, which helps support circulation. It helps support your immune health. It is exfoliating to your skin. It feels good. And it's something you could do every morning. And then also cold water therapy. I've been really into cold showers, cold plunging. My colleague and I, we actually did a cold plunge in Ocean Beach in San Francisco a couple weeks ago. It was cold. I mean, it was cold. And cold plunging is something I really recommend more for spring and summer. So now we're shifting to fall and winter. I would recommend hot Epsom salt baths. But hot and cold therapy is really, really supportive to the immune system as well. So those are some lifestyle practices. Food-wise, big fan of garlic and onion. So that's going to be antiviral, antifungal, and antimicrobial. Cold water fish for the omega-3 fatty acids, or if you're a vegan, algae. It's going to be highly anti-inflammatory. Red bell pepper for the vitamin C, also a beauty food. And then mushrooms. Mushrooms, there's the amount of research that's out there on mushrooms supporting the immune system is really insane in like a really cool way, but they can help boost white blood cells. They're really high in polysaccharides, which support your immune health. They're highly anti-inflammatory. You could either cook them. You know, there's so many ways to cook them. I know some people have big feelings about mushrooms. So if you don't like mushrooms, you can get a mushroom powder. Like they have reishi powder, cordyceps powder. You can add it to your coffee. You can add it to your tea. You can make like a golden milk and throw it in there. But mushrooms are probably one of the most supportive foods to your immune system out there, I think.
I agree with you 100% on the mushrooms, and I love them. The shiitakes for me are some of the best as far as supporting the immune health. And yeah, they're great. And you can cook them in so many different ways. And like Lauren said, if you don't like the taste of mushrooms, I know there's a lot of people out there who don't, then you can get them in the supplement form. There's a brand called Real Mushrooms, and they have the highest quality mushroom complexes that I have found. They know what they're doing. And so I would say that's a good brand to check into if you're looking for mushroom supplements. And the garlic, that's such a good one too. What I like to do is take a spoonful of Manuka honey, and then I chop up a little clove of garlic. I let it sit for about 20 minutes so it can, the immune properties, enzyme properties can kind of balance out. And then I put the garlic on the honey and I eat it, and that's my little boost of, I'm going to say antibiotic, but it's a nice little boost for your immune health. It's just Manuka honey and garlic. I eat that all the time if I feel a tickle in my throat. Where's my honey? Where's my garlic? I've been doing that for probably since I was a child.
So it's just one clove of garlic chopped up?
Yeah, let it sit for 20 minutes and then take your spoonful of Manuka honey. I say get a good grade of Manuka honey and then put the garlic on top, and it's just so good for your health.
Ooh, I can't wait to try that. Yeah, I'm around kids all the time because I'm teaching kids cooking classes and then high school nutrition education. So for me specifically with like back to school, fall is here. I've been really, really, really focusing on supporting my immune system. I always like to say defense wins championships. Like I used to be a big soccer fan. But this is like the same kind of thing for your immune system. As opposed to worrying about what's externally out there, really focus on how you can build up your barrier of defense. And we just listed out so many different ways you could do that. But supporting your immune system and building up a good barrier of defense is a great way to kind of take your power back, you know, and think about ways you can empower your health as opposed to kind of living in fear of, you know, whatever flu cold is kind of going around, especially during the winter time. And especially because I'm around so many kiddos. I haven't been sick in a long time, so we'll see. We'll see how this fall goes.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just the daily lifestyle practices. I would say one that I really love also is getting out there and getting 15 to 20 minutes of sunshine every morning before 9 a.m. Just basking in that sunshine. That is one of my big wellness practices that supports my health, my mood, immunity. Get out there with as minimal clothing as possible, no sunglasses, and just sit in the sunshine. You get that nice healthy dose of vitamin D. It's really good for your hormones, your circadian rhythm, so you're going to get a lot better sleep. You're going to feel a lot more rested during the day. Your immune health is going to be supported, and it's good for your eye health too. So I would say, you know, all around, get some sunshine. Don't be afraid of the sun, 15 to 20 minutes, depending on your pigment of your skin. If you have more melanin, then you may need a little bit more. Do what's best for you. And if you're going to spend extended periods of the time in the sun, then use a non-toxic sunscreen.
I love that. Yeah, getting outside, because obviously all the benefits that you said about sunshine, but also fresh air, bonus points if you're on a walk, extra bonus points if you're on a walk with a friend, or on the phone with someone, because that community and connection piece is also such a major piece of overall health.
I agree. Having connection with really kind, like-hearted people like yourself and, positive women interactions and just supporting each other. It's so good to just connect and to uplift each other, share your stories. And it's a great wellness practice, like Lauren said. I highly agree.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is there any other wellness tips that you want to share with someone? As a board certified nutritionist, I know you have so many in your hat. Is there anything that you feel that people really need to know, especially as we go into the fall and winter season, that they can implement that's just easy, budget friendly, and cost effective if there's anything that you can suggest?
Yeah. Something I like to teach about also is about affordable nutrition, which is the idea you can eat healthy on a budget. And let's be real, things are way more expensive now, across the board. And I feel like every time I go to the grocery store, things are more and more expensive. So you can eat healthy on a budget. It just takes a little bit of planning. So a few tips that I can give about ways to eat healthy on a budget is step one is going to be you want to do a pantry inventory. See what you have in your pantry, fridge, and freezer. Maybe do a clean out, maybe donate some food, but get everything organized. And then from there, create a menu plan. So this doesn't have to be like a really regimented menu plan, but say you really like chicken. Maybe you could do a chicken soup one night and then chicken fajitas the next day, and then maybe have some chicken tacos the next day. But just getting really clear on what ingredients and what meals you want to make, and then making a detailed shopping list so you don't make those impulsive buys. So planning is key in eating healthy on a budget. My next tip is before you go grocery shopping, have a snack. Don't go to the grocery store hungry. I've done that and I've bought the craziest things when I was there. So like a handful of nuts, apple and nut butter, hard-boiled eggs, something simple, maybe like with a clean protein and a healthy fat to balance your blood sugar. And then going back to what we were talking about, you guys, eating seasonally and shopping local is always going to benefit your wallet. So those are two practices you can also really implement into your daily routine. Making your own dressing, dips, and spreads will really save some money, and it will be more nutrient dense and it will taste better. I'm a big fan of making salsa. I make a ton of salsa, chimichurri, hummus, and just simple salad dressings. It's so simple. And as I said, will taste better, way less sugar, usually no processed ingredients in there, and it will be more affordable as well. And then one last resource I'd love to share is the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. So the Environmental Working Group creates a list every year, and it surveys the amount of pesticides, herbicides, fungicides in produce. So the Dirty Dozen is going to be 12 fruits and vegetables that are going to be really, really high in pesticides. And the Clean 15 are going to be 15 fruits and vegetables that are lower. So if you are looking to shop organic, but also shop on a budget, the Clean 15 are going to be your fruits and vegetables you can buy conventional because they are going to be lower in pesticides. And it's usually things like with a peel. Like with an outside peel, like avocado is usually on there, banana probably. And then the Dirty Dozen are going to be your 12 foods that if you can, it's suggested to buy organic because there are more pesticides in there. And those are usually ones that are grown lower to the ground. So like strawberries, kale, will usually have a higher pesticide count just because they are so close to the soil. So those are just some tips. I have so many more. I have a whole blog with a long list of ways to eat healthy on a budget, but it's doable and it just takes a little bit of planning.
I agree with you. Those are really great points that people can implement into their daily routine as far as just eating healthier on a budget, which I think is so important, especially in the wellness space. It can be really hard for people when they're first starting out, when they don't have a lot of money and they want to eat healthier. So learning practical tips on how to save money, how to navigate the grocery store, and how to not waste food. I am very big advocate for not wasting food. The amount of food that is wasted is very sad because there's people out there that are starving and they don't have access to food. So not wasting the food you buy. Don't just stock your house with all this healthy food. Really take account of what it is that you have and then shop accordingly. And like Lauren said, cooking in batches is a great way to save money, and it's a great way not to waste food. So you can make an entire chicken, like she said, and then use that throughout the week as far as for the fajitas and the soups and different stir fries. Cooking in batches is also going to make it easier to eat healthy on a regular basis, because if you say cook all your food on a Sunday afternoon or something, you're going to always have that food ready throughout the whole week. So cook an entire, batch of chicken, cook a bunch of vegetables, cook some beans, cook some grains. These are all more cost-effective foods, but then you're going to have them throughout the week to grab and go and make very numerous different meals. And it's just a great way to save money. It's a great way to not waste food. And it's a great way to just always have healthy food on hand, which I think is very important when you're starting out, especially in healthy eating, is just having healthy food on hand. So if you don't have those chips, you're not going to eat them because you don't have them. But if you have your entire fridge stocked full of healthy food that you actually enjoy, you're more likely to eat it because you have it there. So I would say buy foods that you enjoy. Don't just buy foods just because they're healthy. Buy foods that you actually like to taste, because then you're actually going to eat them more regularly. When I first started out in nutrition years ago, I would buy kale because everyone says kale's great, or I would try to eat these foods that they didn't taste that good to me. So it's about learning how to buy foods that you like the taste of, and then also learning how to prepare foods to make them taste better. Utilize herbs and spices because they are going to increase your antioxidant intake by so much. It's going to feed your skin and your hair. It's going to make your foods taste a lot better too, which is a key to healthy eating, is eating foods that taste good.
Absolutely. I'm going to make a controversial statement. I actually have never said this on air. I don't like cucumbers. All right.
Ooh.
I'm not a cucumber fan, and I've tried so many ways to eat cucumbers because they're hydrating and they are full of minerals and vitamins. And you know what? Cucumbers are just not for me. And I'm sharing this because it's a really good point. Don't buy a food if you don't like it and you just think it's healthy, because it's just not going to be a pleasurable experience. So I just don't eat cucumbers. I can get my hydration from strawberries and lettuce. There you go. So I really love that you brought that up, because I think that's a huge piece. Food's meant to be enjoyed.
I'm one of those people that just lives to eat. People make fun of me because I'm always thinking about food. I'm always talking about food. I'm always fantasizing about food. I'm always planning food. I'm literally right now while we're talking, I'm thinking about, what am I going to eat when we get off of this video? Food is, one of the great joys in life. So find foods that you enjoy and eat them regularly, because it's going to nourish your body and your soul and your health and your beauty. And this morning I sat out in the sunshine eating a pear that tasted so good to me that it brought a surge of joy throughout my body. Eating foods that you enjoy is good for you, even if it's a chocolate cake, even if it's some processed food, whatever it is, enjoy it fully, because food is just a great way to support your health, but also your mood. Food is joyful. I love food.
Absolutely. I'm with you. I'm already thinking about lunch. What's for lunch? What's for dinner? I don't know. We'll see.
Well, wrapping up, is there any other nutrition tips that you would love to share with anyone?
I think this has been, we've talked about so many amazing ways to be healthy by using food and lifestyle and mindset. I'm just going to go back to the eat seasonally piece. I really think it is a very simple very well researched, very cost effective, very environmentally supportive way of being. And then also just get back in the kitchen as best as you can. I know we're all so busy. I totally understand that, but we forgot we like to cook, and we are meant to cook some of our own meals. Not all of them, but some of them. So maybe make a seasonal dinner or lunch this week just as a goal, or a seasonal breakfast. Just choose one thing, but eat seasonally, get back in the kitchen, chew your food, and enjoy your food.
I love that. That's beautiful. All of your tips have been so practical and helpful, and I know that they're just going to help someone out there who really needs to hear the message about health. Can be simple and it can be cost effective. There's so many tips that you offer that are just so amazing, and I know they're really going to help people. So I appreciate your time. If you'd like to share with the listeners where they can find you, I would love for people to check out your website and your services.
Yes, please. Well, thank you so much for having me on here. I feel like we could talk for hours about all the things. So you can catch me at my website, laurenemersonwellness.com. All my socials, I'm on the gram, Lauren Emerson Wellness, Facebook, Lauren Emerson Wellness. Just starting a YouTube channel, Lauren Emerson Wellness. Please reach out. I love questions. I love connecting with people. I have lots of one-on-one health coaching service offerings. I also run group coaching programs with my colleague, Kat Alumba. We do seasonal 5-day group reset programs. This is a great way to kind of dip your toe in the water if you're looking to figure out how different foods affect your body. We use seasonal food and lifestyle practices, and also just the power of community in the group coaching programs is huge. I see such amazing results in those 5 days from the group coaching programs. So that's been really amazing. And season 2 of the Go Play in the Dirt podcast is going to be coming out hopefully next year. Stay tuned. You can listen to season 1. It's all on streaming It's on all streaming platforms. Go Play in the Dirt. Thank you, Jessica. This was so fun. I love these conversations, and I feel like there's just so much to talk about, but so much educational pieces that we can give to people.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. And everyone, I will list Lauren's information down below so you can find all her on social media and her website. And if you like this video, please like and share it with someone who may benefit from it, and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to chatting with you again soon, Lauren.